Welcome back to Teasmania, the always sunny and ever-expanding island chain that seems to have a weird rock infestation. But anyway, with 1.5 million in the bank, the citizens of our busy town demand change. And along with your suggestions, change is what they're going to get. So let's dive right in. So what are some of the changes that Teasmania is going to see today? Well, first of all, we've got, I think, 4 or 5 comments with some excellent suggestions that we're going to put into place. The first one was from the spiffing Brit that said, please can you name one of the trams Jeremy? Many thanks. Why not? That sounds like a good idea to me. Here we go, Jeremy the Tram. Welcome to Teasmania. I also asked you whereabouts should we put the new Alien Rock Park, and there were lots of suggestions from the volcano sort of mountainy type thing over here on the right hand side to the top of this ridge of mountains that goes right through the middle. But the suggestion that I liked the most was from Explore Learn Make 14 that said, for Alien Rock Park, I like the idea of using the small crescent moon shaped island just west of the city. It looks like an ancient meteor impact site, so the alien rock hit there and all the rocks started to gravitate to it to build the rock monument. Just not a big area for a park. Well, we'll see about that. I think this is a great idea. This was the top voted comment as well, and I think we could do something very special with this. So we'll see how that turns out as we continue through the series. We also had a very unhappy resident of Teasmania as the owner slash proprietor, I can say that properly, of Almost Meat. It's not called Almost Meat anymore, it's Ordinateur. In the industry area. Could I petition Mayor Biffa to move the newly built tram stop from in front of my factory entrance? What makes it especially egregious is there's a big enough space between the entrance and the exit to place the pergola without blocking my deliveries. That was from Mr. Hedgeball 1658. Yeah, I do apologize. I wasn't really thinking straight, and I could just move that from here to there and all be sorted. 1 second, and there we go. That fits in much better. I guess they were so disgruntled, that's why their business left and another business is here, but never mind, we fixed that problem. Thank you for the feedback. And also in the last episode, I asked for a name for our industrial area here, and Penaliza said industrial / port area should be called Chicago. Chicago. Yeah, since you named an area Chi-Town, may be fun to run with that theme. I love it. So we now have a Chicago in this area. Brilliant. So now let's take a look at our city and see some of the needs and the changes that we need to implement. So if we take a view overall, we have 1.4 million in the bank. We're making bank, which is good. Not everybody is super happy though. We've got a high crime risk, taxes, poor garbage service, a few things they're not happy with. Now, what you can do with these sort of things, as long as you've got some that are super high, you can normally sort of override the lower ones and still get people moving in. Well, we've got quite a few moving in, but not so many. And to keep these in the highest of happiness sections. So I think maybe let's take care of the need, the most need that we have, which is our police coverage. So if we dive into that one, we do actually have some patrolling police cars, but they're not managing to get round everywhere. And some of these, as you can see, higher density areas are really struggling for coverage. So let's just take a look here and just check that we haven't put any districts on. No, we haven't put any particular districts on there. That's good. All 6 cars are out patrolling. We do have another upgrade for another 6 cars, which would be absolutely fantastic. So that just goes on the same what's the word I'm looking for? Same spot, same lot. Lot is the word I'm looking for. Thank you very much. So now we've got 12 cars that will be out patrolling. So hopefully over time we shall see, let's go back to here, these higher density areas will also have coverage as well. We'll come back and check that a little bit later on. We've also got a few areas here waiting for ambulances, quite a few down this end of our city as well, in Chi-Town and Chicago. Let's just check our ambulance coverage, our healthcare coverage. So again, we've got just this one small clinic here. Patients is absolutely filled up, over capacity on patients. So there we go. That is something that's causing a problem for us. I don't think this small medical clinic has any upgrades. No, it doesn't. So maybe this end of town we could add just another, I mean, we could just go for another small medical clinic, or maybe one of these. Let's have a look. Ambulances, a lot higher patient capacity, which could be good. Let's go for that one. How much is that going to cost us? 60,000. We do have the money, but it's just finding a spot to pop this in. I'm just wondering whether down here, along by the coast, actually could be quite good. Let's turn anarchy off. Nope, let's put anarchy on so it doesn't mess with anything. I think that's going to work quite well there. We've got tram stops nearby as well if they need to walk there. Well, you know, once they've got off the tram. Let me just remove the trees off this little area here. Oh, for those that don't know, I get asked this a lot. So when you first turn on your tree brush, it's going to be a tree brush of whatever tree you have selected down here. For instance, I have oak selected. If I left click, it's going to place oaks. If I right click, it's going to remove oaks. It has a snapping function right here. So at the moment, the only trees, if I right click, that it's going to remove are oaks. You see, it's not removing these trees here. It's not removing those trees here while I'm holding right down. I want to remove all the trees on this lot here. A couple of them are oaks. Some of them aren't. If I turn off the snapping, and now right click, there we go. Any trees, apart from the ones built into the asset, of course, that are oaks or any other tree have now all been removed. So there we go. So that's opened up that spot for us. I think that fits in there quite nicely. It has sort of completely ruined the view for these houses here. I might just rethink where I'm going to put that. Just looking along here, I mean, within the tiles that we own, we really don't have any other space where we can put this. If we don't put it along the front here, I'm wondering now whether we just need to purchase another tile somewhere, because I don't really want to put it down in the industry area. We do have enough money and we do have some free tiles left over that aren't going to cost us anything. So let's dive into here and see what tiles could be handy. I mean, some of these aren't really going to give us much building area, although they're nearby. This one here could be quite good. It's going to open up this entire area and it's going to be free, which is very good. And we've got access here off the motorway and it's quite near this end of town. So I think we're going to purchase that one there. Excellent. And then maybe we could just add a very, very temporary road off of here. I'm going to pick a pick of that road there. Here we go. That is going to continue through the middle there. Excellent. And I'm just going to take a normal road and I'm going to bring that down the side here. Let's make sure anarchy isn't on. 90 degrees. Excellent. And then we're just going to completely move that somewhere else. There we go. Let's pop that down here. Excellent. So they've got nice highway access to take care with all of that. Let's make sure they've got their power. Over here it should all be underground. Yeah, let me just run that through here. And also the sewerage as well. Do you know what? I've never actually realised you can bend the pipes like this. I don't think I've ever done it before. That is absolutely brilliant. I don't know why I don't do it more often. Hopefully that is all okay. Yeah, well, it would be if I connected up the power incorrectly. There we go. So all three of those are going out. And we can also add, that's extra patients and another 3 ambulances. So let's do that as well. That slots onto the side. Excellent. 130, 6 ambulances. That should be great. Hopefully they'll start taking care of all of this. Very good. The other thing I'm noticing is garbage piling up. Now, we don't have our own garbage or rubbish collection. That is basically coming in from outside the city. So, yeah, the more problems we've got with this is as that builds up, then we're going to get more people being sick, which really isn't good. Can we afford to run our own at the moment? We could do a landfill. 70,000. And what's that going to cost us a month? 15,000 a month. We could do that. And I'm just wondering whether to go for that, or we do have 16 unlock points. Now that we've hit Busy Town, by the way, that happened off camera, we could maybe go straight for a recycling centre or an incineration plant. Why don't we go for a recycling centre? Let's unlock that. And that is not too large. There we go. We've got two. We've got the Japanese recycling centre. It's a reasonable size. 880,000. They're both the same price. 15 trucks the same. In fact, all of the capacity is exactly the same. Maybe we'll fit this in up over here. If we can get a road going along here somewhere in our industrial area, I think that would be quite good. Just wondering if we could sort of change how we put all this together. Oh, that's an autosave. Let's have a quick sip of tea. So if I delete this, I know we need to put that back in again. Hopefully that hasn't completely ruined all of our work from before. We're going to pick at that road and we're going to bring that up to... I mean, that can just continue on out this way, can't it? Although we don't need... Oh, yeah, we're going to need some of the tram tracks on there. We'll get back to that in a moment. And then if we take our one-way tram track and we literally bring that up the side like to here. Can you stop snapping? Yeah, if we do that and then we upgrade this here. That's actually the one I want to do. Oh, I was hoping that would go up there. Okay. Oh, I think it will if we then do this. Yes, there we go. So that will now go up and down there. And if we look, everything still works fine. Yeah, that's good. And now we've got this little bit of roads that we can work with. So if we take our... I mean, that is pretty huge, but this one will fit in quite nicely. Let's just turn off Anarchy. That will go quite nicely right up against there. That will fit in perfectly. So what does that give us? Truck-wise, 15. We're going to let that just work everywhere. And I'm hoping money-wise and everything that'll be fine. And also this produces income for the city. Wow. 80,000 a month, 131,000 a month. Well, that's just suddenly completely put us in the, in the tank. Well, thank you very much for that. Let's go to our garbage management and just stick it to 50%. So that'll only be 4 trucks out of 15. That's fine because we haven't got that much. 163,000. Let's just see how much money it makes us as we go along. But wow, that was a lot more, wasn't it, than what it actually said it was going to cost us, which was upkeep 40,000 a month. Yeah, that's one of the things I wish they would change in the game, but we'll see how that goes as we go along. So a mod that we've added that you may have already noticed, it is this mod along the top here, City Stats. It was down the side, but it was in the way of this other icon, so I've moved it up here. And it's just a very quick way to glance at some of the services information rather than coming over to our info views. There's a couple here that I want to just remove. We've got this one here that says landfill availability. Well, we know that we're using a recycling centre, so we can click on there, we can click on that, and that will just hide that one. There we go, but we've still got access to the garbage processing, which is good. There's another one along here, shelter availability. I tend to not use the shelters because we don't really have disasters on, because I hate how they look and I hate the fact they just destroy everything. You got to come back and do all of that. But all of these other ones I think we will leave on, as it will give us some good information. So we see we've got quite a bit of unemployment there. So you can't actually click on that and go into the info view. Maybe that will be added to the mod a bit later on. I don't know. But if we jump in here, yeah, we've got nearly 30% unemployment, which isn't great. So that's not going to be helping our citizens either. But hopefully as we go along, that will be taken care of. Let's look at the happiness. Okay, it's getting better. It's getting there. It's getting there. Okay, so before we start extending, there is something I'd like to change down here in the Kettlewick Farm and Industrial Estate. And I absolutely have hated these silly little weird buildings that pop up. I mean, some of them are okay, like this one. You know, that could go there and actually be okay. These other random ones that sort of appear, I really don't like them. And it wasn't until I watched the last City Planner Plays video, which is probably 3 or 4 back by now, that I saw that there is a way to put our farms in so we don't see these. So I'm going to do a quick time lapse of putting the farm areas in here, and then we're going to put some nice surfaces over them as well so they look better, and we'll remove all these hawky-walky weird things that even using the Better Bulldoze mod you can't remove those. So here we go. there we go. Look at that. That is nuts, isn't it? What a ridiculous way to try and solve the problem of not having any of those weird buildings spawn. So you've still got, I'll stop that thing flashing. You've still got a big farm area. We'll want to remove the fences from here. So I'm not quite sure which one I need to do. Is it that one? Yeah, there we go. So we've still got our farm area. And then what we can do is we can then actually cover this with, let's have a look, a grass or a farm surface, which I know we're in one of these somewhere. Let me find them. Ground surfaces. There we go. So we've got all of these. You've seen me use these before. Fantastic colors and types and all sorts of things. Let's go for one of these, and we can just literally run that over the top. There we go, brilliant. And that just looks fantastic. And then if we really want to add a fence onto there, we can just grab ourselves a fence net lane. Which one of these is most going to look like a farm sort of fence? Industrial low fence. There we go. And we can do that. There we go, fantastic. As long as I don't accidentally put my mouse cursor over it and we all freak out. But that now will still work, and we shouldn't get any of these weird buildings spawning in the middle. But if I do want to add any of those, then I can just sort of use find it and plop those in. But that should now still be back to a level 1 building. Yeah, plenty of storage and 109% efficiency. Brilliant. So yeah, I'm just going to do these two as well. There we go. And that one didn't actually put in an area. Oh yes, it did. It was just hasn't put the color in. Well, that's fine as long as it's worked. Do we have access to these? We do. We've got this little road here, which maybe we could build off of. I'm just looking further down. I don't want to build off the highway. And we've got the railway line there, and I don't want to sort of branch off any of these roads and have farm traffic. So maybe we could just do a little something here and make use of this area, and that would help our money and our production as well. If we jump into the production tab, I mean, basically we need lots of everything. Carrots looks like it's the most, because that goes into processing, making food and all that sort of thing. So maybe we'll put some carrot farms along here, and then we'll make them look super nice as well. Okay, there we go. Looking much better. Now, a couple of things. These rocks, they will be moved eventually. It might not be today. We can see we've had a couple of things that have spawned in here. So if we go into our area tool, is it this one? Yeah, there we go. We obviously need to just make these a little bit, there we go, thinner, and hopefully that's okay. These two look all right. Yep, everything else has worked out okay. And then down here, we can see the surface has gone all the way into there. So I'm hoping I can just find like a decal or something that I can put over the top that's going to be sort of concrete or something like that. Do you know, it was just actually easier to remove the surface, to sort of move it back around here, because, yeah, it's very weird. Some of these surfaces, if we just hover over the grass, will show over the top, and some of them won't. And you sort of think it's to do with this little dot. Maybe the dots do and the circles don't, but it is completely random which ones do and which ones don't. So I've just sort of, yeah, done it like that, and I think that'll work okay. And then I can maybe add a few of these around the place just to sort of mess it up a bit. There we go. Make it look a little bit more realistic, I suppose, in a certain way. Oh man, this is like getting to be the dirtiest the dirtiest ever place. We'll just put one of those there. There we go. Excellent. Very good. Right, now let's move on to our next project for today. Are they still struggling with the trash? It looks like they are, aren't they? Just before we go on to our next project for the day, how are we doing over here? Yeah, maybe 4 out of 5 isn't quite enough. We are making some more money now, so let's just bump this up to, say, keep an eye on our money down there, 70%, and we'll try that. Yep, okay, good. So the next thing that we need to really take care of is our education. So you can see it's all pretty low up here, pretty red. If we check our actual info views on education, so for elementary school, eligible 434, capacity 100. That's this one over here. Yep. High school, eligible 692, capacity 250. That's this one over here. College and university, we don't have any of those. Now, one of the issues is going to be the layout of this island. We're going to have lots of little pockets of communities all over the place that are going to need education in one way or another. We can see that the further away you get from this, the less likely they're going to travel all the way down here to this education hub. So I think we're going to leave those as they are, and we're going to try and put some in a spot up here and take care of our educational needs. So I'm thinking maybe a central spot here, so we can still pick up some from Sidai Bay in this high density area, but hopefully cover most of this as well. I mean, Chi-Town is the one that's got the most in. So now I've said that, I'm thinking actually we're going to move it over here. We're going to remove these houses from this spot here. Oh, and I was going to dezone it. It's automatically dezoned. Excellent. And then in here, we are going to pop in this one. The China Ruby Rock Elementary School, student capacity of 800. So that is going to stand us in good stead as time goes on. I'm thinking we're going to put it right up the end over there. Does this have an addition? What does that give us? Additional music room, top floor upgrades, the outdoor area, and recreational facilities for the school. Let's go for it. There we go. Make that a nice little place. And then in here, we are going to add a high school. And I'm just again thinking what would be a good one that gives us a nice capacity without taking up an absolute ton of space like some of these do, and almost sort of fits in well with what we've got. That city high school, I think, is going to be the one, although this one's quite good. 1,750, 800. I think we're going to go for this one here. Let's just line this up, and then we can sort of move it around as well. There we go, a little bit of parking out the front. We've obviously got some trees there we just need to remove. Let's just do that, tidy things up a bit. There we go, excellent. So that should take care of all of our needs here. We can do a bit of decorating around that as well. What is this going to add for us? More student capacity and the sports park on the roof when we unlock that. So maybe we'll come back to that later. So hopefully that takes care of this. I think we're a little bit far away from being able to afford colleges and universities just yet. Obviously they're not unlocked. Yeah, the cheapest here is going to be 375. I mean, we could sort of do that. How many does that hold? 5,000 capacity. What do we have for college? I mean, we're nowhere near even 1,000 yet. So I think we're just going to wait on that. But yeah, that's good. We've taken care of all of our capacity. Everybody in this area seems happy. So fantastic. So that's going to help our workforce as well. There we go, looking good. They can all enjoy the beautiful views across the sea as well. Fantastic. Quick check in on the carrots. We are making so many carrots. We still could do with some more livestock, and we haven't really touched any of the grain. There's no fish at the moment, or what is that called? Cotton. Yep, it's there right on the screen. But yeah, definitely these farms are working well. Right, so as we said, let's move on to our next project. We've got this huge square over here. I'm sure there's something we could start to do with this. I love it when you see a house that's got a load of trash and you literally see the garbage truck come along and pick it up. Thank you for your service. And right next door, we've got a bit of a disaster going on. A car has crashed. I think it's to do with this taxi over here. This was on fire, and now the house is on fire, and everybody's leaving, which is, I'm glad they're leaving, but that is a lot of people. 96 households, 175 residents, and 21 pets coming out of the house. I think they're hoping that someone is going to actually come and put this fire out before it collapses. Do we have on fire... Have they not called Oh, what is our fire coverage? Our fire coverage is like 0. We have no fire coverage at all. Let's just pause there a minute. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. We're literally bringing in our fire coverage from outside the city, but I'm just wondering whether now is the time to do something about it. It might be too late for that house, but we should really just do something about it. Could we squeeze one in? We've got this industrial area over here. Could we squeeze one sort of in the middle here? Because they can get round, get on the highway, and then head out. We've got a lot of high density places that live here. Let's just see if we've got a building. Yeah, we've got these fire service blocks. I don't know what the difference is between those two. We've got these small, that's one fire engine, 3. I don't think we're going to find one that's going to fit in here. Okay, I think instead we're going to come over here to what is going to end up being a small little service hub, and we're going to pop this one down. Oh, we've progressed to Big Town. Fantastic. Unlock some other block things. I bet there's like a load of those. A Mermaid's Tea Lounge, a villa. I didn't read the rest of that. Antiqua or something. Community firehouse. We get 3 fire engines. One of those is going to instantly go out, and there it goes. Let's see whether it can actually get there on time or not. Well, I can certainly see where it's going. Oh man, the house is still standing. What? Oh, they tried to stop outside on the highway. Well, they're going to throw the hose over the thing. Oh, come, let them go through. What, why are you going left? Left is not the way to go. Right. Has it already burnt down? Is that what's happening here? Oh, we didn't stop left-hand turns there, did we? He's going back down the other side. What? What? Is it still there? Oh, okay. Moving on. Right. So to this area over here. Yes. So I would like to put in the middle here some sort of plaza area with access to our trams that we're going to be using around our city, and be like a really nice place to live. So let's just come out of that view. What have we got over here? Just noticed we've got like an old stone quarry going on. Very good. So yeah, we've got this sort of highway type road that comes through there and a connection over here. I'm just wondering whether if we could pick a pick of this. Nope. Let's use the picker over here. Pick of that. How wide does that need to be? Is that the width? Nope. 0.5. Yes. So if we bring this in and just sort of try and get a rough idea of what the layout of our road is going to be. I think this is going to... I don't want that to necessarily hit straight into here. But I think for now it's going to. That's what we're going to do. And then we can always work on that. But off of here, I'd like... Yeah, we've now got a bit of a roadway that we can work with for our plaza. So let's upgrade this one. There we go, to this road. And then we've got something else we can build off as well. Let's just put a bit of a road framework in and let's see where we end up. Yeah, so that's going to head off over there somewhere. This down here, I do feel like it could do with being a roundabout. But what we could actually do, we've got plenty of points. We can unlock some extra roads. So we're going to get large roads. We're going to get roundabouts. We're not going to get parking areas just yet. Then let's have a look. I think we already had these anyway, but I want this one. So let's upgrade this way and that way as well. Yeah, so we've got the extra turning lane going in. Yeah, that'll do. Excellent. And we'll work with that. That's fine. So then in here, I would like to sort of build around. Oh, we've passed 8,000, which is good. Some of the large parks. We've got these Grand City Plaza, the community. This one here. It is absolutely huge. But what I'd like to do is sort of sculpt the land a little bit and see if we can have this maybe elevated and then build around that. So let's have a little time lapse. I'm going to have a little play around here, see what we can come up with. Well, I have no idea what this shape is meant to be. I'm just like throwing things together, seeing what we come up with, and trying to sort of make something that's slightly interesting as a base. We could have people park down here with the excessive traffic lights. We'll sort those out. And then they can walk up here. They've got views of the city over there if they want to do that. You've got a nice park we can look at. Obviously, we're going to be adding loads more to this, but I'm just sort of thinking what we've got so far. An extra little park over there. And then we're going to put some buildings around here that look nice. So this is like the start. Just sort of thinking about the roadway around the rest of this. Let's maybe see what we can come up with for that. Ah yes, it's that time in a city build again where I've messed around with water and I'm going to be breaking things. I'm not sure this is going to work how I wanted it. I wanted it to be all water in there. Do I need to actually make the insides of these all closed off as well to stop the water running out everywhere? That to me would seem to make sense, although sometimes things don't make sense. Let's see if that stops running out everywhere. It really doesn't seem like it's going to, is it? Obviously, I need to put some land in here somewhere. Yep, been trying a few other things, and I'm making this worse and worse. I don't know what is going on with the water source. I've removed it. There is no water source there anymore, and the water seems to keep carrying on. What is going on? What is going on? Let's just maybe make a hole and try and cover it over so the water all goes in there instead. Like so. Oh my giddy aunt. Ah! Okay, we're going to go with something like this, with it set into the ground. I think that's going to work a lot better. The other thing that I really want to do is bring some trams into here as well. So we can have the trams go off into other parts of our city, and then we can have some trams heading off back down this way again. I'm thinking that this little section here could actually work quite well. Not that menu. We want to get into the tram menu, and we could use... Oh, that's cable car track. This one, double tram track. So we could bring some of these up here like this, maybe just a couple of them, maybe even three, because that could head off to different places. And then depending on which way that this line's going to go, let's say this one is going to connect up to our area over there. We could have that come out like so. And then all we need to do is pop one of these on the end. There we go, that's the one. We'll just delete that one, and it makes it a nice reversing spot. Don't know if I need to make that longer or if it's just going to go up there and then go back. We'll work that one out anyway, but that's what I would like to do. Let me just get the power and the water all hooked up here. There we go. Excellent. We can see it's already hooked up via the roads and things, so people can come in out and visit this area. Very good. And then I was thinking about some buildings maybe tucked into this sort of spot here. I'm not quite sure. We could try that out, but I'd like to zone in. Let's jump into here. Some of these, the urban promenade mixed housing, maybe in just sort of these cutout areas here, but they're going to have to face forward. Because if I put a road there, got to be careful, and then zone against it, they're going to face into the centre, and you're only going to see the blank backs. But I'd like them facing out this way. But I'm not quite sure how we're going to do that. Maybe let's try doing it with an alley. Actually, this might work if I can get this one facing the right way. There we go. And get this as close as we can without it jumping up. There we go. Oh, I want to jump this way, then it will face the right direction. We could do that. I'm just wondering whether that's an interesting place to live, because you've got the views then going out into the rest of the city build, and then nobody can really, I mean, they can see in your balcony there, but you might be able to sort of hide that a little bit. So maybe we could do a little something along here. Let's just see how that looks. I'm hoping I can snap up against these buildings here. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay some out, and then we're just going to use the Move It mod just to monkey these around a little bit. I am quite liking the look of that. Very good. If you don't know, when you're using the Move It mods, if you hold control, you can then move something. Let's go to this one here. Rather than moving it and it's jumping around like that, hold control and it's very slow. So I'm sort of looking at this bit of concrete down here in the wall, and it also removes the sort of the guideline you have around it when you're holding it like that, the blue line. So that makes it a lot easier. Let's just grab it again. There we go. A lot easier to line it up where you want it. Brilliant. So let's try that. Then we could just snap this along the front now. So that makes it a lot easier. And then we can bring that out to wherever we want to go to connect it up. Something like that. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm liking that. So I think I'm going to do that round at the other side as well. Oh, another autosave. Yeah, I think we'll do that round there. And I might even do that along these couple of spots as well, just to try something a little bit different. Okay, I'm liking the way this is turning out. It's more sort of like an interesting complex of sorts, isn't it? With the parks on the top. Obviously, I need to do some decorating. We've got the surfaces, and we've got all of these people that are just absolutely dying to move in. Look at them all. Look at them all. So why don't we see if we can help them? I'm thinking at the end here, we definitely need a roundabout. That's going to work a lot better than what we've got here at the moment. Let's just pause things and see what we can do. Well, that isn't something I should be able to do. What's going on there? There we go. That should work a lot better. Everyone seems to be moving a lot faster. Yeah, we'll go with that. Very good. And then they're all heading down here around this teeny tiny roundabout, and then down here through the parking roads. Yeah, I don't think it'll be... Oh, yeah, we've got parking outside as well for those that need it. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So, what can we do next? Why don't we see if we can get our tram line connected up. Now, this is where we need to get to. So, this is our tram depot, and we've got this little turnaround spot here, which I'm probably going to end up messing up if I try and connect to that. Oh, another auto save. So, I'm wondering whether we could move things over and sort of sneak up the side here somewhere. Let's just grab all of these buildings and surfaces. No, let's try that again. Hang on, I've got it. Yeah, there we go. I'll sort that a little bit out later. That's fine. And then up here, we can run our tram and see how that goes. But where do we go next? That's the question. Can we go underground with the tram? We can go underground with the tram. No, because I've got that set. Maybe we could turn that into a tunnel. We can, that just doesn't work at all. Oh, it does. I just need to go down a little bit deeper. Okay, that's fine. So at least if we know if we want to do that, we could get underneath and connect up to here. All right, let's see. Okay, we've got that hooked up, so I'm pretty sure I could just bring that up here now. I just want to take the traffic lights off of here and just help these people out. They're struggling to get into their new homes. Let's give them, there we go, extra lanes to get in there. Thank you very much. They've got all the parking that they need, and we've got these small little lanes to get round here. That's fine. Yeah, so the only people coming up these lanes are the people that live in the houses at the end of them, so that's good. Just have a quick look back here. Yeah, we can do the same here as well. Let's just pop that into there, and we'll have that going out there as well. And then maybe this one. Let's just pick of that. There we go. Excellent. And we'll take the 3-lane. Can you snap? Thank you very much. And we'll get that way. And we'll do it with that one as well. Come on. There we go. Brilliant. So that should just help the traffic get through a little bit. Let's actually see how many people we're expecting to live in this unnamed area. Let's just chuck this down super quick. So Hawthorne Bluff at the moment. So 308 households, 730 residents. So that's not too bad. And some employees as well, because of course all of these are mixed housing. So it's somewhere they can shop and get whatever groceries and whatnot they need too. So that is good. So maybe let's just do a little bit of decorating. Now, this is a huge area. I'm not going to decorate all of this. Maybe let's just stick to the little park area here. Well, there is so much more to do in this area, but I've just sort of concentrated on the central section, and I'm thinking this has turned out absolutely wonderful. I'm loving it. This is just one of those, I don't know what you call it, like a stream of consciousness thing. It was like, I'll build a bit of this, then I'll build a bit of that, and then we'll just add something in there, and we'll see how it goes. I haven't got anything in there just yet, as you can see. We will come back to that. But the way the rest of this has sort of come together, I am really enjoying this build. So the rest of it will have to earmark for the future. We do just need to get some of the mass transit in here. So maybe let's just do that. We've got our stop at the end there. So I'm wondering whether, can we just hook into that? We can. And then can we just go all the way into... Where do we want to go? Do we want to go just to here and back again so people can get off there and then they can get on that tram to go into the city? Will that actually work? Complete. It will. Excellent. Let's just pause that before it starts doing anything. We can see what we have on our line. So that's this line here. So it's red on the other one. Let's have it yellow on this one. And it's going to put 2 trams. I'm going to pop that down to 1. Yeah, we'll pop it down to 1 and we'll see how it goes. I think that'll be fine. The other one's only at 26% and we've got 6 trams on there. I did drop the price down on this, but I'm going to drop it down to 3. And I think I'm going to do that on here as well. There we go. Excellent. And then we'll come up with a name for this area. When I say we, I mean you, because you're so good at coming up with names. Let me know a name for this area and then we can rename our trams. Can I just run a little path from like there to there, so people can get in and out of that area? I'm just wondering, actually, can I? No, can't go all the way across. Let's maybe add another one there. I know they're going to walk down the sides, but yeah, we'll come back and we'll decorate all of that as well. But what do you think of this fantastic park up here with the housing built in? I am loving it, and I'm absolutely loving the views across Teasmania, nearly said New Tealand 2 as well. So from taking care of all of our citizens' needs, we branched out into building an epic elevated park / pedestrian shopping, living, relaxation area for our city. I love it. In a future episode, we'll take care of all the extra detailing that we need to do and expand our tram mini hub to also include the trains from the region around us as well. If you enjoyed the video today, a like would be fantastic. Subscribe too if you haven't, so you don't miss out on the next one. And as always, a huge heartfelt thank you to all of my patrons, the names you can see scrolling up the screen right now. Your extra support really honestly does help. Thank you. Over on Patreon, we've just started a brand new series of Timberborn hard mode with the Iron Teeth. I'm looking forward to diving into them, so check the link below if you want to watch that as well. Plus you've got all 29 episodes of the last series you can watch too. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I'll see you all very soon for some more Teasmania.